I'm here in Mesa, Arizona, and it is 59 degrees here. If you can believe it, most people think Arizona is just like this hot, forsaken place that people don't want to go to. And Arizona is actually 59 degrees right now. And what's crazy is Flagstaff, okay? If you want to go up to the snow, things like that, Flagstaff is 38 degrees right now. So if you've never thought that Arizona can actually get cold, it actually can. Arizona, I love, my grandma is from a place called Pine, Arizona. Um, and, it is 50 degrees there, but I remember my grandma used to, our family used to go out to Pine all the time. And, if you've ever been to Arizona and you go up through Payson, and then you go into Pine and Strawberry, it's just so gorgeous, right? Arizona's got some really beautiful parts, and obviously we have the Grand Canyon here. So if you've never been to Arizona and you're like, when is the best time to come to Arizona when it's not hot? The weather is absolutely perfect right now. So it's 59 degrees here, or 59 degrees here, and if you want to go up to the mountains, like in if you've ever heard of Sedona, Red Rocks, right? Sedona right now is 46 degrees, but if you go up to Flagstaff where the pine trees are, there's a lot of, there's still actually some snow, believe it or not, on the ground. So Arizona has some really beautiful parts that is cold, has snow. People go skiing and snowboarding up in Flagstaff, Arizona at the ski resort. And so there's a lot of cool places, but some people don't realize that Arizona does get cold, because most people think it's just it is a desert, but most people just think that it just gets hot, And so I love sharing that, because most people who've ever been to Arizona, or excuse me, who've never been to Arizona, most people have no idea that, it can get that cold here. So if you guys are thinking about a trip to Arizona anytime soon, now actually is a really good time to come, just because the weather, it's not hot. It is cold, so bring a jacket. And I think you'll actually enjoy the weather in Arizona right now, because it's just beautiful. I mean, this is, for me, it's, why am I being restricted? Interesting. Huh. I'm not exactly sure what is maybe being said. Is there anything that you guys can think that I said that I just got restricted, and it's not making any sense as to why I got restricted, because I haven't said anything that has anything to do with what my reason for being on this live. It's interesting. I was talking about the weather in certain parts of Arizona, and I'm not understanding the restriction. It says I'm redirecting users to purchase products outside TikTok. I'm not quite understanding the reasoning behind the restriction. But for those of you that are coming on this live, right, and your goal is to learn what insulin resistance is, I get on here every single day. And so I'm not understanding the reason for the restriction, quite honestly. And really, I think the only way for you guys to overcome, or for us to overcome the restriction, is if you guys are tapping the screen, okay? It says appeal not approved. That's interesting. I'm not exactly sure what might be on my profile that is, giving or getting that restriction. And so for those of you that are on here, please tap the screen. Media, if you're just coming on, I just got restricted in the first 3 minutes. I'm not exactly sure why. And there might be something going on with my profile, so I'll have to address that. But when I get on these lives, I talk about something that affects 93% of people. It's called insulin resistance, okay? And most people don't know that they have it, right? But we know people who are diabetic, who have blood pressure, cholesterol issues. We know people that, are overweight, because those are the people that we see all the time. Charlie? And so, right, we see that happening all the time. Unfortunately, you and I could go to a family reunion and we could, find 10 people that are affected by these issues. And so at the end of the day, okay, the goal is what can we do to start improving our health that doesn't require a prescription or a medication all the time, right? Far too many people are getting on meds. That seems to be the only result that doctors want to do. Is far too often we're just throwing medications at our symptoms, hoping that it's going to fix the root cause. But it doesn't. It doesn't fix the root cause. The only way to fix the root cause is to tear out the root, right? We've got to address it at the root. And if we're not doing that, okay, then it becomes a bigger issue. And so my hope and my prayer as I get on these lives each day, and again, I'm not exactly sure why I got the restriction, but if you guys tap the screen, keep hitting it. I'm not exactly sure why some people, okay, this is weird. But that's the only way to really get this information out. I don't get the restriction. I really don't. And so, there's no issues with my account, but at the end of the day, they don't like it when we get on here and we teach the truth. So for those of you that are wanting to learn about insulin resistance, what I do is I help people understand what the root cause is. I help people to be able to connect the dots to insulin resistance. And first and foremost, I help people to understand that you can improve your health without the need for meds or diets or feeling like you have to go and do 2 days at the gym. Okay. Insulin resistance can be reversed. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed, and it can be reversed because insulin resistance is reversible. Okay. Most people don't know this. Most of us, when we're going to a doctor, doctors are just diagnosing and treating the symptoms, right? And far too often, that's all we're doing is we're just managing the symptoms. We're masking it. We're putting a Band-Aid on it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the last I heard, you can't put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. You've got to address it. You've got to fix it. And if we're unwilling to fix it at the root level, right, you're going to continue to have these health issues for a long period of time, right? When you guys look at this list, okay, how many of these health issues that is listed, like how many of you know somebody who's diabetic? Right? 76% of American people are overweight or obese, right? Just go to the grocery store, just go anywhere, and you're going to come in contact with at least, 10 people that you know that are affected by these issues. How many of you have high blood pressure and high cholesterol? How many of you have what is called metabolic syndrome, PCOS, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, sleep apnea? Okay. Skin tags, right? On your neck, your armpits. What about depression, decreased libido? What about neuropathy? What about liver disease? Okay. Gout, erectile dysfunction, right? Chronic fatigue. How many of you are tired all the time? How many of you are craving food all the time? How many of you have mood swings, right? None of us have mood swings, right? What about weakened immunity? What about oral health issues? Folks, the reality is that most of us are walking around with these little health issues that we have, and far too often doctors are just throwing medications at our symptoms. Okay? That's all they're doing. That doesn't fix the root cause. And my hope and my prayer is that when I get on here and help people to connect the dots is to help you to avoid the same mistakes, right? If you want to be on your medications, awesome. If you love being on it because your insurance pays for it, awesome. You're not my person. I have no desire to help somebody who just wants a quick fix, because you can't fix insulin resistance with a quick fix. And I get restricted almost all the time now. It makes absolutely no sense. I mean, we could have a couple hundred people on this live, and I get restricted for nothing. I honestly don't know what the restriction's for. But at the end of the day, I think people have a right to understand why we have these health issues, and most importantly, what we can do to start improving it. Okay. I share a natural system that is clinically proven to improve and reverse insulin resistance. So if you're struggling with your health in some way, shape, or form today, this literally could change your life, right? I sip on this tea every single day. It shuts the food noise off. It allows me to go longer periods of time without thinking about food, okay? And it shuts the food noise off, right? Some of you might be on a medication called metformin. Some of you might be on Ozempic or Manjari or Wegovy or Trulicity, or right. There's so many different medications. This does the same thing, but without any of the side effects. Okay, it does the exact same thing. No side effects, no contraindications with the system. Right? Tastes really good. And it just shuts the food noise off. See, the reality is that most of us are medicated, unfortunately, because that's what doctors do. They diagnose, they treat the symptoms. But folks, it's no different than if I'm driving my vehicle down the road and the check engine light comes on. Okay, we've got to address the environment inside of our body. We've got to address the vehicle when the check engine light comes on, right? If it comes on, we've got to address it. We've got to fix it. Okay. Most people honestly have no idea that you don't need medications, you don't need specific diets to fix insulin resistance. Megan, good morning. Megan, I don't know if you can hear, but I would be curious to know if you are getting restricted on your lives. But ladies and gentlemen, if you want to improve your health, fix the root cause. Okay? Pay attention to what your body is telling you, just as the check engine light tells you that there's something wrong with the car, right? If there's something wrong, we address it. We either fix it ourselves or find somebody that we trust that can do that for us. This is exactly why I get on here every single day and I share this with people, because I know that this is making a huge impact in people's lives. I love talking about this because it is helping people literally get their health back. I love it. It has changed so many people's lives, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it. And I'm so grateful to be using a simple system that is guaranteed to help reverse insulin resistance. And hardly any one of you that's even watching this live even knows, most of you don't even know that it exists. Because we're never talking about fixing the root cause. We just treat our symptoms. But if you are looking for a natural solution to the biggest health problem in the world, you just found it. And people like me get restricted because this right here is a pharmaceutical's worst nightmare. And the reason why it is because this works. This is a natural statin, right? There's over 1 billion people on a statin drug. This is the natural metformin, does the same thing, no side effects. And it's helping people get off their meds. That's what this is about. And this is why people like me get shut down on these lives, because they don't like me teaching the truth. And Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you're looking for a natural alternative to the medications you just found it comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. You can try it, and if it doesn't work, you get your money back. You can't do that with medications. You can't do that with your doctor. The reality is there's a reason why 93% of America is metabolically unfit. That's scary to think that almost 100% of our country is sick. Charlie? Stop. I have a kitten that, well, I wouldn't even call her a kitten. She's like 2 years old now, but she's just mean to the older cat. But I'm living proof. I'm somebody that donated a kidney to my sister's husband. And it was 7 years later, when I was diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease, and I was told that if I didn't lose weight, if I didn't change my diet, that I was going to end up on dialysis. This system changed my life. Okay, 5 months of being on it, I reversed stage 4 kidney disease. I had lost weight. My migraines that I had for 23 years went away in the first week. My acid reflux, the brain fog, anxiety, depression, all of these things went away and improved. I'm living proof that you can do the same thing. And so if you are looking for something, folks, you just found it. Okay. And if there's anything that I can do to help you, please let me know. Okay. I love talking about this. It has changed my life. And I don't know where I would be without this, because it has literally changed my life. And I hope and pray that this helps you to have a better understanding of what insulin resistance is, what you can do to fix this. Okay. If there's anything that I can do to help you, please let me know. If you're wanting to try the system, the link's in my bio. Okay. Watch my pinned videos. Watch the TikTok channel that I have. Okay. Let me see here. And so let's see here. But if you're looking for a solution to a problem, you just found it. Okay. I'm going to post a couple videos today that talk about insulin resistance and why the Feel Great system is being used widely around the world, and what you can do to get your hands on it. If you guys have any questions, I am available all the time. I respond to every message. And if there's anything that I can do to help you, please let me know. But I hope you guys have an amazing, blessed Sunday. I'm going to figure out this restriction issue so that we can actually have a group of people that are wanting to learn and wanting to change their health. God bless.